Hey guys, Chris Americos here with another video for you. Today we're talking about nouns and verbs that have different stress. That's right, words that are spelled the same, but when it's a noun it has a different stress than when it's a verb. Let me give you an example just so you know what we're talking about from the beginning. Here it is. Increase and increase. You might be thinking, what? That's the same word! Yes, it's spelled the same, but the meaning is different depending on the stress. If the stress is on the first syllable of the word, it's a noun. If the stress isn't on the first syllable of the word, it's a verb. Now, usually we see this with two-syllable words. They come in a pair. One is a noun and one is a verb. But we need to remember that this doesn't work with all two-syllable words. We just need to remember which ones can be used like this. Another thing we should remember when we're looking at these verb and noun pairs is that in American English and in British English, sometimes they're pronounced differently. For example, the word address or address. Usually in British English, this word is pronounced address. And it's not important if it's a noun or if it's a verb. What's your address? He addressed the public. But in American English, it's different. For a noun, we say address. What's your address? And as a verb, we say address. He addressed the public. Other regional accents and dialects of English might use different pronunciation of these words too. But today we're going to be looking at just standard words that in more or less all variations of English have a shift in stress, depending on if it's a noun or if it's a verb. Typically, this idea in the language is called initial word stress or initial noun stress, because we can understand that the verb is the root of the word, and to create the noun we change the stress. So now I'm going to give you some examples of these word pairs that are verbs on the second syllable and nouns on the first syllable. But don't forget that it's not only two-syllable words. There are some other examples of this too. One example of a three-syllable word that works like this is attribute. As a noun, it's pronounced attribute, but as a verb, it's pronounced attribute. Now, in this video, I'm not going to give definitions or explanations of every word because I think that's really boring and you can find them on your own in the dictionary. But if you have any questions about what the words mean that I use in this video, you can definitely leave a comment and I'll answer you. I'll also include a list of these examples under the video and more examples. So let's get to it. As a noun, we say increase, but as a verb, increase. For example, there was an increase in the price of oil, but the price of oil increased. The same with the word decrease or to decrease. As a noun, combine. As a verb, to combine. For the rest of our examples, I'll just pronounce the noun on the first syllable and I'll pronounce the verb on the second syllable, but with the word to before it, so you know it's a verb. Construct, to construct. Contrast, to contrast. For example, in the phrase compare and contrast. Import, to import. Export, to export. Object, to object. Sometimes the difference between the two words is not only noun and verb, but might be noun and adjective. For example, as a noun, content, but as an adjective, content. Or an adjective, perfect, and a verb, to perfect. As a noun, insult. Verb, to insult. Adjective, present. Verb, to present. Noun, produce. Verb, to produce. Noun, project. Verb, to project. Noun, rebel. Verb, to rebel. As a noun, record. As a verb, to record. Noun, refund. Verb, to refund. Noun, subject. Verb, to subject. Noun, suspect. Verb, to suspect. Noun, upset. Verb, to upset. Or adjective, upset. As I said earlier, I'll include more examples in the description of this video below. I really hope that this helped you understand how to determine if a word is a noun or it's a verb, depending on the stress. Make sure you like this video, hit subscribe, and leave a comment down below. Until next time, it's Chris Americos.